when he was a little kid, you knew he all wanted to be a fighter pilot. And he knew what the requirements were for the Air Force Academy. And he knew one thing. He knew that there was a flying team. And in order to be on it, you had to have your private pilot license. So his senior year, he worked hard and he got his license. And that next year at the academy, he went to try out for it. And he goes out there, he was thinking there's going to be, 10, 20 kids. Oh, no. There was 270 kids applying for 9 slots on the flying team. And he looks at him and he talks to him and he realizes this kid's got his instrument rating, this kid's got his commercial rating, this guy's got his CFI, this guy's got 500. He's thinking, what chance do I have? But you know what? What the heck? I'm gonna give it a shot. And competition starts from fall semester and it doesn't complete till the end of winter semester when they complete their freshman year. And to his utter surprise, he kept making the cut until he was at the last cut. They had 13 applicants for 9 slots. And that last activity to determine whether he makes it or not is to fly the simulator. You have to fly a predetermined course. And if you're over the or under the altitude limit, you get points. If you're too fast or too slow, they add points. If you're off course by plus or minus, 3 degrees, you get points. And as he started flying the sim, which he hadn't done before, he's chasing the needles. Oh, I'm too high, I gotta get down. Oh, I'm too fast, I gotta slow down. And as he's doing that, the voice came to him in his heart, just fly the plane. Just fly it. And so he settled down and just flew the course. And afterwards, he didn't know, how competitive guys, how do we do? And so he knew the one guy that's probably the best pilot there, how much did you do? And now Kage scored 11,000 points against him. This guy scored 10,000. Oh, well, I guess I'm not too far off, but I don't know what the range is, How far am I? So he started asking the other candidates, or the other competitors. And one of them, I scored 30,000. Oh, I beat him. Another guy, I scored 24. Oh, I beat him. Come to find out, he had one of the, not the top, but one of the best scores. And he realized he beat at least 4 guys, so he's one of the 9. So he's thinking, I got this. I'm so excited. And that afternoon, when the training was all done, the coach pulled them all together and said, hey, we thank you, cadets. This is, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for trying out, blah, 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 blah. And then he said this. He said, if you make the team, this is a commitment because you still have to do your academics. And the academics are not easy at the academy. And if you don't do your academics, you're off the team. You still have to do your military training, your military duties. If you don't do that, you're off the team. And then you still got to do stuff that we require you when you're on the team. And he made that big comment. And then he started to walk out the door. Since he had flown and trained with Kage during that competition, he looked at Kage and he said, Cadet Allen, you're a Mormon, right? He said, yes, sir. And he said, do you plan on doing one of those Mormon missions? Now, Kage knew that if he said yes, because of his just big thing about dedication for 3 years, that he was done. He was not going to make the team. But he also knew he had made that decision as a little kid that he was going to serve his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But he wasn't going to lie just to get on the team. And so with a determined voice, he said, yes, sir, I plan on doing it. Knowing full well that he probably wouldn't make the team. And sure enough, that night as they came around to post who had made the team, Kage didn't make the team. And his character, instead of saying, poor me, the world hates me, or I'm a martyr, look what I'm doing, I'm going on a mission, I'm sacrificing this. He didn't do that. What he did do is he went to the flying team coach and he said, based on your criteria of commitment and dedication, which I understand, I made a commitment to my God to serve him. Just like I made a commitment to the Academy and the Air Force to serve my country. My commitment's strong. But based on your criteria, there will never be an LDS cadet who serves a mission on the flying team. Because of that commitment. Because you start your sophomore year. And the coach looked at him and said, and I give him credit, he said, okay, you're class of 2015. When you come back for 2017, I'll compare your scores to the incoming class and we'll see how you do. Now that night, as I was talking with Kage, and he was explaining what had happened. We both said, he's just saying that just to get him off his back. You know, just to get him off. But what Kage did is every month on his mission, he would send a little note to the flying team coach. Hey, I'm still committed. Haven't forgot you. He would do that.
That's right.
And before he left, he knew he'd have to do an interview, because all the kids have to do a personal interview with the team, the current team. And so he, with his big brother Joseph, put together a little video. And brothers and sisters, if you ever get time, please come. I want to show you that video that Kage put together. And sure enough, that last year, when Kage was ready to come home, he did the interview. They compared his scores, and the flying team coach graciously said, Kage, guess what? You're on the team. But it wasn't because of the scores, it's because of the video he made. That's so impressive. The guy said, I want to see this. But here's one thing about this that is really neat, is during that whole process of these 274 going down to 9 slots, you're competing against his current classmates. And it's cutthroat. You know, they all want to be on it. But guess who was on the selection committee when he was reapplying? Those same cadets that he competed against. And because they knew as he was competing, he was never a backstabber to, don't listen to him, or he was always willing to help. Read a sectional chart, understand certain basic procedures, boldface, all that type of stuff. He was willing to help. And it's because of his willingness to love and serve, not just his Heavenly Father, but his fellow cadets and his country, that he was able to achieve one of his little goals that helped him in the rest of his career. When he went through pilot training, you guys don't know, and I'm bragging, I apologize, but I'm a proud papa.
Yeah, keep going.
But he was top stick in his pilot class, did the best. He goes to his F-15 introductory course. Well, it's his final course. They call it the B course. And there's only 2 awards they give out. And that is the top stick and the top academics. And Kage got both of them.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, I've been able to talk to him almost every day since Hannah was not there. After his flight, we'd talk about how his flight went. And then after a while, he'd say, got to hang up, Dad, got to talk to Hannah. And then he'd call Hannah. But let me just share you 2 quick things. Kage just recently, when he's been in country, got certified to be a wingman. That's a certification you have to earn. And he joked and he said, I got my license to kill. And another lieutenant who just pinned on captain this week got his certification to become a flight lead. And so the squadron, in a fighter squadron, you got to know these guys, they're pretty brutal. And they like ragging on you. They give you a hard time, but all in good fun. They said, let's have the 2 lieutenants go at it and see who wins. So they did. And after the debrief, they're pulling out during the debrief, they're pulling out the film. And Kage had that guy in his sights on 9 frames. The flight lead had Kage in his sight 1 frame. And when all the squadron mates saw that, you would not believe the razzing that flight lead got. What? The rookie beat you? Now, the squadron commander, being a man knowing you got to have respect for your commanders and your flight leads, stood in and said, now 1 second, now let's look at this. And he gave some cockamamie story to say that the other guy won. But everybody in the squadron was always looking at Kage and going, we know it. You did it. And just last week, they were doing a simulation exercise. There were just a 4-ship, and they were going against, first they were going against 8 aircraft, and they had to take them all out. Then they would re-engage, and they'd go against 10 aircraft, you had to take them all out. And then they'd re-engage, and they'd take about 14. They went up to 18 aircraft. Then at the end of the mission, they're all done. Before they said, okay, we got enough gas, it's every man for himself. We're going to see who's the last pilot standing. And I want to say, brothers and sisters, Kage was the last one standing. The last one standing. He did good. He loved you. He loved all the members of our ward. And just like we love you guys. I can't believe you're here. I really can't. And I want to introduce his wife. This is Hannah. And Hannah, I don't know if you know this, but she's an All-American swimmer.
Nothing compared to Cage.
No, All-American swimmer. And it took him 27 years to find her. But he found her.
26.
26. Oh, that's right. His birthday was Monday, the day
Year
before.
ago, we turned
That's
27
right.
last week.
26.
Yeah.
But anything then, I said too much.
No, you didn't. It was good. I was sobbing and collecting myself. It was fine. No, I just feel honored that I got to know Cage and then I got to love him. I was pretty picky in dating too, but it sounds like he was also. And so, I don't know. Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know. I don't know if I should say this to everybody, but it almost feels like we signed up for this. Like, maybe in the life before, we were like, he's like, I want to die epically, and I'm like, I want him. Sign me up. And so, yeah, I just know that, like, when I made my post on Facebook public the first night, I didn't sleep at all. I've had 9 hours of sleep since Monday, total. And I just am astounded at the influence that Cage has and the Christ-like person he was and is. He always was like, oh, I don't have that many friends, like my family are my friends and stuff, but he always was doing little things, and I've just received multitudes of memories of like, oh, like Cage just randomly showed up to wish me happy birthday, you know, and I just, yeah, I think the reason he's blown up so big, I guess you could say, is he was a true disciple of Christ, and he just did the little things every day. And
So I would just like to share one thought. In a world that's fighting and struggling, it was so tender and so sweet to sit together, the three of us, having to answer some hard questions and fill out some hard forms with the military mortician and the chaplain that they provided there. But at the end, the chaplain came over to us and he said, I've sat in a lot of these kind of meetings, and it was very sweet to see the love with which you function. It's not all in-laws do that. And I said to Hannah, if Heavenly Father had to take my Cage away, I'm so thankful he gave us Hannah. Our hearts do open up, and our hearts do love. And love is what heals. And we love all of you, and we're thankful for your love and support. And we know we've been sustained by your prayers. And we ask you to continue those. And we ask you to let us know when we can pray for you. Because that's what binds us, that love and that prayer. And I thank you for being here.
Hey, sweetie.
Good, awesome.
We have 6 little boys growing up, and every night after we would do family prayer, we would do this little chant. It's our little Allen motto. So.